attachment to my Guru. That's all. All the best things in my life I received only from that. Without even knowing what is integrity, I enjoyed integrity with him. Without even knowing what is responsibility, I enjoyed responsibility for him. Without even knowing what is enriching, I was enriching about him to the world. Without even knowing what is Brahman, I had Brahman Jnana from him. Before even knowing the word Brahman, he gave me Brahman Jnana. You are my disciple. With all my love, I tell you guys, the best thing I received from my Guru, I am giving you guys as a prasada. This too is the best thing I received from my Guru. One, my Guru is real. Second, I committed to him. I will live like that. Over. That's all. And I tell you, you will always be successful. I am real. My words are real. It's my blessing to all of you. Ferocious blessing. My disciples always win, succeed. The unit of your life is your identification about you. How you perceive you is the unit with which you measure whole universe. Introducing your higher existence in parallel universe, asserting your higher existence in parallel universe, reassuring about your higher existence in parallel universe, initiating you and giving you the experience about your higher existence, making you face yourself in the parallel universe. Success is not just the zeros you see in your bank balance. It is your conscious sovereignty. It is you feeling so good about you. You celebrating your own existence. If I look, what is the essence of my life? My personal attachment to my Guru, that's all. All the best things in my life I received only from that. Without even knowing what is integrity, I enjoyed integrity with him. Without even knowing what is responsibility, I enjoyed responsibility for him. Without even knowing what is enriching, I was enriching about him to the world. Without even knowing what is Brahman, I had Brahman Jnana from him. Before even knowing the word Brahman, he gave me Brahman Jnana. You are my disciple. With all my love, I tell you guys, the best thing I received from my Guru, I am giving you guys as a prasada. This too is the best thing I received from my Guru. One, my Guru is real. Second, I committed to him. I will live like that. Over. That's all. And I tell you, you will always be successful. I am real. My words are real. It's my blessing to all of you. Ferocious blessing. My disciples always win, succeed. The unit of your life is your identification about you. How you perceive you is the unit with which you measure whole universe. Introducing your higher existence in parallel universe, asserting your higher existence in parallel universe, reassuring about your higher existence in parallel universe, initiating you and giving you the experience about your higher existence, making you face yourself in the parallel universe is my responsibility.
Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam everyone. We welcome all of you to the Introduction to Paramashivoham Level 3 program. So before we enter into the segment, the Kailasa National Security Agency would like to have some mandatory security measures. Please be aware of all the security measures. Also, please be aware of all the important cautions. With this, we welcome all the Kailasvasis attending from Kailasa monasteries, gurukuls, temples, ashrams, and centers from around the world. We welcome all the NTV, Kailasa TV, Hinduism Now TV, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube viewers, and all those blessed to have Nana Diksha to the video conferencing who are joining us for today's program. We'll start with the brief introduction of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilization nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga and temple-based university a lifestyle for humanity. So now we'll look into the coronation ceremonies of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Before the year of 1981, he was identified as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva by the spiritual adepts and the enlightened masters of Hinduism. In the year 1981, he was initiated into the Bala Sannyas and Chaturmasya at the age of 3. In the coming year, 1988, he was coronated as the future Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tundai Mandala Adinam, which is the oldest monastic university of Hinduism. In the year 94, he was appointed as the successor of Arunachala Swarnapeetham by the Guru Parampara, and in the year 99, he founded the mission Nityananda Sangha to revive Kailasas internationally. In the same year, he was also coronated as the successor of Kashi Swarnapeetham. In the year 2002, he founded Adi Kailasa Swarnapeetham. In the year 2004, he was declared as the successor of Bhagyanagara Sripura Swarnapeetham. In the year 2004, he was also declared as the incumbent emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajya of Suryavamsa lineage. In the year 2007, he was declared as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adi Pallava Swarnapeetham. And in the year 2007, same year, he was also declared as the Mahamandaleswara of Mahanirvani Akhara. In the year 2012, he was coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Madurai Shyamala Pitha Swarnapeetham, which is the oldest Hindu papal state and the monastic kingdom. In the year 2013, he was officially coronated as the Mahamandaleswara of Mahanirvani Akhara, which is the largest apex monastic order, and at that time, he was the youngest Mahamandaleswara. In the same year, he was also declared as the Acharya Mahamandaleswara of Atalakhara by the Acharya Mahamandaleswara Sukhdevanandaji, the then incumbent spiritual head. And in the coming year, he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tanjavur Adinam. In the same year, 2014, he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tiruvarur Adinam, Vedaranyam Adinam, and the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Panchanadikulam. In the year 2015, he was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharmamukti Swargapuram Adinam, and in the same year, he was also coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adipit, Kuladamat. In the year 2015, he was elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 spiritual leaders. So now we'll look into various initiatives taken by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to revive Sanatana Hindu Dharma. For last 28 years, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been conducting the various humanitarian services, which includes the free vegetarian food, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolutions, peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices through the various international agencies and the bodies. He has authored more than 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, that has been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies of books and articles has been sold, read, and downloaded. He has established the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific, most viewed guru in the digital world, read and watched by 1 billion plus followers in Hinduism. Over 10,000 hours of discourses, over 1 million views on the social media. He is also respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jnana Sutras. He is honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader. He is acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personality by Watkins' Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. The Sovereign Order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Paramashivam and Nityananda Order of Monks, Nuns, and Hindu Diaspora, are working for global peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. He has also established the largest Hindu university in the world with the satellite campuses in 150 countries. He is establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem. He is founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvanyapithams. So now we'll look into one of the greatest contribution by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and that is the science of power manifestation. The Hindu scriptures, the Vedagamas, which is the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest more than 463 plus powers through the third eye. Manifesting powers are described as the system, method, and the science for human beings to explore the various possibility, powers, and have access to various states of consciousness. Paramashiva, who is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, is the ultimate reality, cause, which is the self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasa, all-pervading, unchanging, beyond time, space, form, and causality. At the fundamental base of Abhyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, or the 5 cosmic acts of Srishti, which is creation, Sthiti, the sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, which is resignation, Tirobhava, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, liberating grace for all the living entities. So how do we manifest these Shaktis? So every ultimate truth, the knowledge, the jnana, when it is mapped into our consciousness, it manifests as the possibility and power of every being. So now let us look into the science of power, the science of body scanning. So in this power of body scanning, one awakens to the ability to scan the illnesses, disease, and medically diagnosed issues and provide solutions through the awakened third eye. So let us look into the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural references to about this power of body scanning. And this is from Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, where Bhagavan Paramashivam says, cognize deeply that from subtle to subtlest constitute the principle of your whole body or of the whole universe simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in their source cause by the experience of such restful awareness. One becomes complete from all the thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens. The Apta Pramana, and this is from the life of great Siddha Agatya. So Terayar, who was a great Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Rishi Agatya. One day a man suffering from the severe headache comes to Agatya for the healing. Agatya uses the power of body scanning and identifies the root cause of the headache. He reveals that there is a small Terai sitting in the person's brain. Agatya immediately instructs Terayar, his disciple, to perform an open head surgery and remove the frog. After the surgery is completed, the Atma Pramana, and this is from the life of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. On 22nd December 2019, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, revealed how he uses the power of body scanning. He says only when he had the multiple compound hand fracture, he was forced to go for surgery and therefore for the medical checkups related to that. At that time, the doctors detected the heavy metal quantity in the different organs of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. It was revealed that he was poisoned without his knowledge. So he immediately used diagnostic methods instead of medical facility to study the body conditions due to the poison. Through the body scanning, he found out what the problem imbalances had happened and where the balance has to be done. He used the allopathy as a second opinion to verify his findings. So along with this power of body scanning, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be giving initiations into the various other powers in the program Paramashivoham. So as a living incarnation of Paramashiva, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism embodies the most profound yogic states that surpass all bounds of time, space, and matter. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is gifting this pure, great science of third eye awakening, along with the many other spiritual sciences through the initiations, that is Diksha. And millions of people have been initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and are experiencing the profound result as the extraordinary powers in their everyday life. So all of us can receive these initiations by attending the Paramashivam program. So now we'll look into the brief introduction about the Paramashivoham program. So now we'll look into the introduction of this program. So through this program, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be initiating all of us into the various powers, the various sciences of Hinduism. This program will be aimed to giving you a conscious breakthrough, making all your problems relevant in this world and giving you the experiences of the different states of consciousness, the various lokas, and also ability to manifest the power, the various powers that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has described. Also, using the various initiations into the power, you will be able to build your body as you want with these superhuman Shaktis. So what exactly you are going to be experiencing in this Paramashivoham level 3 program? You are going to have an irreversible superconscious mutation. And through this process, which will be carried inside your body to your very DNA level, due to which you are going to be experiencing the various tattvas like integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and reason. The various lokas like Vaikuntha Loka, Satya Loka, Kailasa. You will have the experiences of traveling to the various lokas, the various qualities, the various other experiences like living Advaita, the ability to generate wealth, and the various other completion processes like the past life regression, the completion processes. So you'll go through the various other completions processes through this program. And by going through the various completion processes, all the problems of this world will become completely irrelevant for your life. You will be able to imbibe the qualities of the divines while the boons are showered from the other world. So while you get to have the experiences of the traveling to the different lokas, you will also be getting initiated to imbibe the qualities of those divine beings. Also, along with this, all those divine beings will be showering you with the boons and the blessings. You'll be able to learn the secrets of the eternal youth while you experience your dimensions of Sarvanatva, the power of all-knowing. You'll become immortal as you drop your obsessive compulsive pattern, the self-doubts, self-hatred, self-denial, and the self-sabotaging patterns. You can become avadhani and perform thousands of tasks simultaneously and synergetically. So through the various initiation that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be giving us, through that he will be awakening the various powers and possibility to experience the avadhani in all of us. So we'll get more detail about the avadhani and how they perform the thousands of tasks simultaneously and synergetically directly from Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So let us listen to this video.
When invaders invaded India, they burnt libraries. Some of our libraries was burning for 2 years. But the whole thing was rewritten within next 10 years by just 10 Brahmins sitting in a remote forest. That is the way, even though millions of temples are destroyed and the libraries got burned, we immediately came back. Now is the time to revive all the 25 branches of Avadhani tradition. With Paramashiva's grace, I have a right to talk about all these things because I already demonstrated many things which I am talking. When invaders invaded India, they burnt libraries, whole thing. Some of our libraries was burning for 2 years. Around 20 million books, manuscripts have been burnt. But the whole thing was rewritten within next 10 years by just 10 Brahmins sitting in a remote forest, because in their DNA the whole thing is programmed and in their memory the whole thing is there. They just sit and go on writing. Itself says, I took my 1,000-headed Patanjali Adisesha form and wrote this whole Mahabhashya. It means he became the Sahasravatani, the 1,000 independent, intelligent brain tracks. He activated it. And all the whole 1,000 track revealed all the 1,000 branches of the knowledge. Patanjali is the Tamil Brahmin who is a Sahasravatani, mantra, Shastra-centric Sahasravatani. Is a Tanjore Brahmin. Shastra-centric Sahasravatani. He reveals the whole Mahabhashya. So if you just have one Patanjali, even if 1,000 libraries are burnt, no problem. They will repeat it and rewrite it, turn the whole thing down in next 10 years. That is the way, even though millions of temples are destroyed and the libraries got burned, we immediately came back. We immediately revived the whole thing in next generation, within next generation. Now is the time to revive not just the Avadani science of organ-centric, mantra-centric, Shastra and Shastra-centric, all the 25 branches of Avadani tradition. Sahasravatana in all 25 branches, the mantra, power manifestation. Power manifestation, Shakti Avishkarana is one of the signs, branches. We can create kids who can perform 1,000 power manifestation at a time. Sahasravatana at a time. I can talk about all these things. With Paramashiva's grace, I have a right to talk about all these things because I already demonstrated many things which I am talking. Understand? The organ-centric Sahasravatana. That is what is this remote vision, ability to read blindfolded, and Shastra-centric Sahasravatana. That is what is that any book without opening the eyes, the kids can just tell what is there in which page. Already Nityananda demonstrated this power multiple times. Sarvanyatva, not just Nityananda, many kids along with Nityananda demonstrated this power multiple times. And Astra-centric, Astra-Shastra-centric Sahasravatana. This comes under this materialization. Many other power manifestations come under this Astra and Shastra-centric Sahasravatana. You can receive anything you want and send anything you want. Many of these powers, these Avadana traditions, these sciences I have demonstrated. Now, through a large-scale Gurukul, I'll be taking this whole science to the whole world. See, the good news I have for all of you is, with the grace of Paramashiva, we demonstrated it is possible. We already revived the foolproof. The methodology is success, end-to-end, the quality control pass. That is done. Now we will have to make it available to the whole world by making large numbers. Like 10,000 balasans, 10,000 female sannyasinis, 10,000 rudraganyas, manifesting these different avadana traditions. That is what we have to do, and that is what I am doing. That is what I am focused, and I know what all the dangers and attacks possible, what all the persecution, dangers and attacks possible. I am first doing all the protection needed to protect once I start doing this work. So understand, with the grace of Paramashiva, we will do it, and he is doing it. He is really doing it. He is doing great work in large scale. Great work in large scale. I am just creating the infrastructure needed to host these thousands of kids, thousands of Gurukul Balasans, thousands of sannyasis, rudraganyas, abat sannyasis, who will work on the superconscious mutation, start manifesting these powers.
Nityanandam, welcome everyone. And so we'd like to continue the sharing today with regard to the experiences of Paramashivoham 3 and trying to uncode what is the avatar doing and how can we make sure that we take maximum benefit and learn to live beyond what our limitations are and make sure that we enrich the people around us with the same opportunities. So you can go to kailasa.org/Paramashivoham to enter your intention for the next season of Paramashivoham 3. You can also put a message in the YouTube chat right now for whatever you'd like or whatever you want. And you can also engage with Vakyarasadas and sharings of other devotees on the Facebook page. That's the SPH JGM Nityananda Paramashivam Facebook page. So a lot of the things we've been hearing from the Paramashivoham 3 participants is how things that they didn't know about and things that are having sort of a pervasive impact on all aspects of their life have been cleansed just by, not by doing anything whatsoever, but just by being involved with Swamiji through Paramashivoham 3. And so this is nothing new. This is what always happens. This is always the story. And one of the greatest blessings of Avatar is that you can just go to Swamiji with an intention, or if you have a problem you want resolved, and you just sit, and by the time you stand up at the end of the session, it's gone. And so all we have to do after that is maintain the alignment to what we want to manifest. And so don't worry if you feel that things are impossible or difficult in your life. It's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to feel that way so that you have a reason to look for something more. And we should all know that what you think is impossible, whatever you feel is impossible for you, whether it's solutions in your relationship or in your career or financially or through your health or whatever it is, there is something beyond what we understand that's possible. And so the living incarnation is the proof, the living proof of that. And so the superconscious energy radiates through the deities, but the humans are not evolved enough to receive those blessings. So that same superconscious energy happens in the form of Ninja Avatar, the 6-foot frame of the incarnation, so that we can understand and have the experience. So that's why Swamiji is here, and that's why you're here. So I'd like to welcome Kilaya to today's program. And Aya, if you can just maybe tell your name, where you're from, and share whatever you'd like to share about your experiences in the recent season of Paramashivoham 3. Thank you. Welcome.
Nityananda Maharaj, thank you for having me here. Yeah, I'm currently from Los Angeles. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to attend the Paramashivoham Level 3 program this time around. And the program itself, Swamiji took us through different initiations and different experiences, understandings. I would say this is a very a practical program, even though it's extremely very mystical program, but it is one of the most practical programs that you can do in your life. The things that makes you experience mystically, right? Like, for example, seeing, how the notion of infinity and, how your ability to visualize different numbers has a direct impact on how you can see through different things. This is just one example, right? Of how he makes it extremely practical in your day-to-day life. And then you can always feel, you get a very profound sense of a lot of junk leaving your system. Not just physically or, even or emotionally, but, you get a whole new perspective on the same things that you have been looking at for probably your entire life. If I have to just sum it up in one or two words, it's the most practical program that you can ever do. And all this happens when he's not talking much. Yes, there is a lot of Q&A, he gives a lot of discourses and all, but the unsaid is the real, I would say, the real kick of the program.
Right. And as Aya, you shared about how with the power manifestation and the initiations, the ability to see through things further. And actually, this is also from the Shastra Pramana, the Vedas Agamas, when it describes what is the third eye power. It describes the ability to see beyond and see into the reality and see things as they are. And so that was just one thing that you had mentioned. Then, anything else you'd like to share about what your experiences have been, or what you've been aware that other people have gone through, challenges that you've seen people have, and even aspects of how people can learn to implement the initiations and carry them forward that Swamiji gives.
Yeah, so one thing that happens very quickly is, your self-imposed limitations, right? Which are either they're self-imposed or because of societal conditioning, that their hold on you tends to come down, right? This is what I've seen when other people are also speaking about it in the program. But that's a very and how it happens, I don't know. It's not something that is actively dealt with, but that's the side effect of the program. Yeah, and yeah, that's one thing that that's very vivid in my mind about it. Yeah, and yeah, this is something that I can think of very, very clearly, and a lot of people have shared in that aspect, like what they were unaware of, things that were, even though they were happening in your entire life. Yeah, and then there was a lot of power manifestation. A lot of people had a lot of breakthroughs in power manifestation in the program. Yeah, whether it is these are that two things that I can remember very clearly.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. There's always this powerlessness within people about how things could change. And the other aspect is, even people who have been very successful, say in business. So one of the things they'll be aware of is, okay, how can I make this easier? How can I make this reach out to more people in an effortless way? Or how can I make more of the things, more of parts of my vision to happen? And so the thing is, if we're living in our life, if you get a boost to your entire life, if you boost your consciousness, if you change the way that you understand the world and the planet, everything in your life gets a boost. And so anyone who's also been experiencing a lot of success in business and you're looking for how to continue that growth, how to reach more people, how to make it happen more effortlessly, how to do more with less time, the way that happens is really by having a bigger vision and having a stronger connection to your own life source to allow it to manifest more powerfully. So the best initiation and cleaning that you can get for just giving your entire life a boost is from the living incarnation. So even people who feel, yes, I've been very successful in business. So if you can give your entire life a shift and a breakthrough, then everything happens to a greater level. Everything happens more easily and more effortlessly. So these are also some of the dimensions we've seen of how to live your life with less friction. So
yeah,
that is
just to just to add to that, right? Yeah. So oftentimes, right, the result of you get tired of the success, as opposed to feeling energetic about success. Like when you get success, many times you're exhausted. You feel, okay, that's it. I've gotten success, and that's okay. I'm ready to retire. As opposed to the success itself making you more energetic. So that's why a lot of people give up on their growth, and this is something that Swamiji fixes in you, like almost instantaneously, right? The fuel, right, or the thought processes, or even the nature of your biology, which has forced you to cognize life in that way. That there is a cost to success. No, there is no cost to success. The success itself is the fuel for further success. So that real element is something that Swamiji did very wonderfully. Sorry, I just wanted to say that. It's like I said, it's so jam packed in 21 days. It's almost very. It's there are a lot of things that happen, and every time when you think about it, you new layer gets revealed. Oh yeah, this is what happened in the program as well.
right. Yeah, this is so one of the things Swamiji said is, we always like you're mentioning, Swamiji said, like, you can be completely relaxed while you live your life. And this is one thing that I feel like that is what you're mentioning also, is people feel that yes, the success is there, but it's become a drag. It's become like a bondage. And so to get to the solution for that is the parts inside of you that are feeling friction about what's going on, like those gears that are rubbing on each other, to unclutch them and allow them to run without friction. The same things outside can be happening, but inside you're not having the agitation about it. There's no reason that the outside world cannot. So that is one of the things, if people are feeling like, they've been very successful, but there's a relationship piece that's missing, or there's even a leisure piece that's missing, or there's a self-care piece. So Swamiji will clean those areas for you. And especially if you're looking to make progress in an area, there's unlimited things that you can transform. And so these are some of the cognitions of what is wealth manifestation. And wealth is your, one of the ways that Swamiji had defined what is wealth is your confidence in you that you can exist. And and it's really true. If we look in the future, we'll say, okay, once it gets after 1 a.m., I probably can't exist much longer after that. And so like you had said, how do we take the actions so that the actions we take, instead of like saying, yes, it's a drain on me, it takes the life out of me, how do I take the actions so that the actions that I take give me more energy? And so this really happens from learning the unclutching. And so, when we are feeling like overwhelmed, it's too much, people will go to meditation at that time. So the point is, how can I get a super conscious breakthrough in the benefit that meditation gives me inside of me, so that it's cleaned and healed and I can move forward for months at a time, with a benefit that I wouldn't be able to achieve through meditation on my own. So these are the kind of things that Swamiji does when you say yes to connecting your consciousness to the source of your own consciousness. And so these are some of the other things we've seen, is that when we recognize that I am less clutched and things are still happening, then we gain the confidence to know that all I really need to do is have a vision of where I'm going and start to take the actions, but allow life to unfold itself. And so these are a lot of the things we've been learning over the past few weeks on wealth cognition and wealth manifestation. And so we just have a couple minutes left. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to share.
Yeah, there's one I would say the most important thing that I've experientially understood is the definition of freedom itself. What we think as freedom and what exactly is freedom. Many times, so freedom is actually your ability to stay, in just one place, and within yourself without getting agitated. Instead, what we are doing is to save ourselves from ourselves, we go and do all these things externally, so that we don't have to think about ourselves, right? So that we are not bothered by our own mind. But the true definition of freedom is you being able to just sit with yourself and not feel agitated. And that we could very clearly see, right? When typically a human mind, an average mind, cannot stay with itself for more than 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 90 seconds. But with Swamiji, I could see that I was there for minutes at time and nothing happened. Like, I think I was there for like more than 15 minutes, and yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yes, exactly. And that's the experience. So when we see that, hey, I can be with me continuously and be around others and I don't need a break, then that's real freedom, because I never need to hide, I never need to escape, and I never need to be tired by what's going on. So these are some of the words we can put to, hey, what is the freedom that happens inside when you sit with the incarnation? As per Hinduism, the definition of incarnation, when you sit with that being, what happens? And this is how we describe in English language. So great. So thank you, Ayaz. Thank you so much for sharing today. And
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Nityananda.
If I look, what is the essence of my life? My personal attachment to my Guru, that's all. All the best things in my life I received only from that. Without even knowing what is integrity, I enjoyed integrity with him. Without even knowing what is responsibility, I enjoyed responsibility for him. without even knowing what is enriching. I was enriching about him to the world. Without even knowing what is Brahman, I had Brahman Jnana from him. Before even knowing the word Brahman, he gave me Brahman Jnana. You are my disciple. With all my love, I tell you guys. The best thing I received from my Guru, I am giving you guys as a prasada. This too is the best thing I received from my Guru. One, my Guru is real. Second, I committed to him. I will live like that. Over. That's all.
Nityanandam everyone. So now we welcome all of you back to this program. So after the powerful sharing from the Gauri Bhartananda, now we're moving to the next segment where we are going to look into the science of traveling to the higher loka. So during the darshan or the initiation, the participant or all of us can momentarily experience the expanded space of the cosmos. The darshan allows the transmission of the cosmic superconscious mutation energy to happen in all of us. So infusion of this cosmic superconscious mutation energy results in quantum entanglement and causes the neurons of the receptor to mirror the space of perpetual completion radiating from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at a biological level. So mirror neurons, these are the various special neurons that can absorb and mimic the actions of the other neurons through the imitations. Unlike classical imitation, mirror neurons can activate and process all the observed movements or the information without the physical act of imitation. The entire body can silently and without movement recreates what is happening elsewhere through a process of direct observations. This is the exact science of moving from one loka to the higher loka while with the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is like a radiating light. Our body and minds are like a mirror. So when we sit in an unclassed way in the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presence, all our bodies and the minds become mirror, reflecting the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism consciousness. All this gets focused like a laser beam, aligned and polarized towards the SPH consciousness. So the SPH biomemory is simply transmitted into us. Our body becomes light and just flows into the ether. So for example, if we keep 5 such mirrors in front of the single light, the illumination is going to be 5-fold because 5 mirrors are reflecting the light and the whole area is lit intensely. So imagine if thousands of mirrors are kept in front of the same light, what will happen or what will happen to the intensity. So when the thousands of people sit in the SPH presence in an unclassed being, the same superconscious mutation is reflected 1,000-fold and an intense superconscious energy field is created. So if the thousands of body and mind focus themselves on the SPH consciousness, it becomes equivalent to thousands of enlightened beings sitting in the samadhi. So through this superconscious mutation process, one can travel to the higher lokas of the cosmos and experience the higher states of the consciousness. Paramashivoham, which is an immersive 21-day awakening event to teach all of us the science of manifesting the ultimate consciousness in us. The science begins with discovering the Paramashiva in us and then getting established in the true identity by manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. So this program is not just a meditation program, but it is a program to push the humanity to the next level of consciousness, to the consciousness of Paramashiva, the ultimate super consciousness as per Hinduism. The avatar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, who has realized the state of consciousness, is transmitting his experience of Paramashivoham via initiations. So this program will change who we know as ourselves, our very being, and to make all of us radiate the space of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham, which means I am Paramashiva, and this is the ultimate truth. And this is Paramashiva, is the ultimate consciousness, is the source of all the creations, the Karana, Karya, Mula, cause, effect, and the source of all that we perceive and all that is unmanifest in our life. So this Paramashivoham, you are going to be experiencing, you are going to be manifesting the deeper experiences of the 25 states of consciousness, the vertical time zone, and the deeper experiences of the power manifestations. So in this program, through this program, we are going to learn about the different lokas, the plane of existence in the universe, and have the experiences of the different lokas. We're also going to learn about how the infinite being is capable of perceiving and operating across all the planes of existence simultaneously and synergetically. How we can relate with the gods and goddesses across these different planes, and how we can get the glimpse of the super consciousness while living a so-called ordinary life wherever we are. So through this program, you are going to be manifesting the various powers of Paramashiva through the third eye, and all these powers are described in the Vedagamic scriptures. Paramashiva has described more than 463 different powers in the Agamas, including the ability to see with the eyes blindfolded, seeing far off distances and beyond obstacles, scanning the human body and healing it, teleportations, materializations, moving matter with our consciousness, and many more. Manifesting these external powers makes us truly established in the identity of Paramashiva, that Paramashivoham, that is, I am Paramashiva. So all of you can register for this program by signing up on kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. So the next batch of Paramashivoham, which is level 3, season 3, is going to be starting from 6th of October of this year. So with this, we come to end of this segment of with the introduction of this program Paramashivoham level 3. Now we'll be moving to the live satsang of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We request all the viewers to please sit straight and be ready to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Great. Come on. Let's enter into today's satsang. First thing, listen. Please listen. The first statement today I wanted to make. Usually masters, many teachers, I don't want to say masters, many teachers say again and again, how much ever you listen, only if you practice you will achieve it. I wanted to reverse it. How much ever you try to practice, only if you listen, you will achieve it. Listen. How much ever you try to practice it, only if you listen, you will achieve it. Many times you would have heard people saying, how much ever you listen, only if you practice, you will achieve it. But here I am saying, how much ever you try to practice, only if you listen, you will achieve it. How many of you cognize what I am saying? You should have observed the word, try to practice it. Means, without listening, how much ever you practice, it will only be trying to practice, not practicing. Only when you listen, practicing starts. Listen. Today I am going to share some of the tattvas, truths about integrity. Then from tomorrow I will start the Kathopanishad. I wanted to define integrity once more. Honoring the words you give for you and to others as your life is integrity. Integrity is neither morality nor ethics. It is beyond both. Listen. Only when you utter the word I, you exist. Till you remember the word I in your inner space, you do not exist. You may say, no, no, no. When I sleep in the night, I don't remember I in the deep sleep. But when I come back, I remember I. But throughout the night, I see I existed. No. Your body existed throughout the night. You have not existed. Listen, this argument is not going to win. That is not right. Throughout the night, when you don't remember you, your body existed. You have not existed. For example, just because Bididi Ashram existed, for last few days, I have not existed here. I went to Kumbh Mela and came. Body only, the Bididi Ashram existed. Just because your body existed, it does not mean you have existed. When you remember the word I, only then you exist. Everything starts with word. Everything starts with a declaration. Everything starts with commitment. So listen. Clearly expressed word is fulfillment. The word which is perverted and hurting yourself is guilt. The word which is hurting others is violence. The word which goes on expanding you is desire. The words which constantly keeps you in completion and expands you is integrity. Listen. If you just decide from this moment, I will honor the words I utter to me and to others as my life, drastically the inner thoughts, inner chattering will reduce. Breakthrough in your thinking process will happen. Because the moment you become aware, you have to complete or fulfill every word you utter to you and to others. You will become aware of your thinking, and every thought you will know, is it from fear or greed or jealousy or ego or arrogance, and immediately you will complete it. Completion can be done by so many ways. either by working with the person who is related to the root pattern with which you are suffering, or by catharsis, a primal sound releasing methods, or unclutching. All the three can be used for completion based on the depth of the pattern you are carrying. You can try all the three on every pattern you are carrying. All the three on every pattern you are carrying. I tell you, if you are the only person responsible for that pattern, sit with the mirror and start the Swapurnatva. I tell you, mirror should be your Atma Murti, personal deity, when you begin your sadhana. And all the Gurukul kids and all the ashramites, till you finish Swapurnatva, you will have mirror as your deity. All devotees. After you complete your Swapurnatva only, you can even choose which deity you want to carry for you as Ishta Devata. Till then, mirror is your deity. Because constantly doing Swapurnatva, completion is required in the initial level. Many times you do not even know the commitments which you give it to you out of fear, and you go on trying to fulfill them, which leads to deeper and deeper fears. Many of the people for whom you are giving life, they don't need your life. They just need a psychiatric pill. Many patterns for which you are giving your life does not need your life. They just need a few minutes of completion. And I also have one more important news for all you guys. I'll share it with you guys now. From tomorrow, actually, the discussion starts. I'm going to be doing a conflict resolution show in one of the major Tamil channel. Every evening in prime time will be called as Meenakshi Darbar. And I also wanted to start the conflict resolution show in the morning satsang also. Through two-way video conferencing, we can start. Because in conflict resolution, you naturally start doing listening and living both. Listening and living. Tomorrow the discussion is starting. Maybe in a week the show will start, or 10 days. The show is expected to start. Listening and living. Just bring integrity in your thinking, you will see so much of extraordinary powers expressed in you. Only when you bring integrity in your thinking, your biomemory stops feeling itself as a matter and stops asking for food from externally. If you have tried these samyama and failed, understand you have not brought integrity in your thinking. Bring integrity in your thinking. Your biomemory becomes so soft, so subtle, it stops asking food from external world. It takes food directly from space. When you bring integrity in thinking, you do not waste your inner space in making more and more complications. Continuing to make more and more complications is agamya, accumulating karmas. If you stop making more and more complications, you will start exhausting even the complications you made earlier, which is called prarabdha. Listen. The complications you made is prarabdha. Complications you are making is agamya. Without even knowing, continuing to make complications is maya. The complications you made is prarabdha, making is agamya, not even having this knowledge is maya. Constantly making complications means you do not listen to your heart's cry. I really wanted to make the entrance of all the main halls, Chitsabha, Rajasabha, every hall, entrance, outside the entrance should be painted like a ear. When they see, they should remember that you are walking into the ear. So that you know, by entering into this door, you commit to listen. And I also wanted all the ashramites, everyone to have Rudraksha earrings. All the disciples, devotees also, just to remind you to listen, listen, listen. Because in Vedic tradition, the earrings are given for the initiated ears, the ears which have heard the mantras, which listened the mantra, which are ready to listen. For them only the earrings are given. Ear drilling is a religious ritual in Vedic tradition. Child is taught to listen and given the commitment. Child gives the commitment. From now I start listening. Construction department soon paint all the entrance as the ears. When they enter, they should know they are entering into a ear. Clear? Mokshapriyan, your drawing is not right. You did only half size. All over the world, all you guys try. The entrance of the hall. On the wall, make a beautiful painting of the ears in all our temples. At least one door. The Anand Sabha door. Los Angeles can do Anand Sabha door. Toronto, San Jose, all. Make it like a ear painting. Beautiful, big painting of the ear. And the door should be like a ear opening. When the people enter, they should know they are entering into the ear. So that they understand that inside this hall they have to listen. This hall is made for listening. Even Hyderabad, all our temples. This will be a nice design. Listen. Listening to yourself constantly is ajapa japa. Being in the completion with you is unclutching. Being in integrity with the Master is feeling connection. I am redefining EFU. Understand? Enchanting, feeling connection and unclutching. And I am also replacing all three of them with this air. A-I-R-E. Listen. When you sit to listen when you constantly feel, are you integrated with you? You will see all your inauthenticities will be exposed to you. Naturally, you will find solution for you. Lack of integrity is nothing but putting all your problems under the carpet and postponing. Listen, today if you have a certain incompletion and if you think, I'll do the completion tomorrow, now let me push it under the carpet. I have to do my job for next few hours. I tell you, next few hours is going to add more incompletion. And more things are going to be pushed under the carpet. Listening. Listening to you. To you. is the first step in spirituality. People again and again come and ask me, the moment I sit for meditation or unclutching, I have more thoughts, Swamiji, what to do? I have more confusion. I have more problems. Next time I don't want to sit for meditation or unclutching. How will you not have? Unclutching is not switching off the electricity to your house. It is cleaning, sweeping and wiping of your house. It is not that like electricity you will just switch off and you will be unclutched. No. It is cleaning and sweeping and wiping. First listen to your inner space. That is the first step for meditation, for life. Listen. Constantly listening to your own inner space is beginning of integrity. If your inner space says there is nothing more to listen, only silence is there, then it is end of integrity. You achieved integrity. When you start listening to your inner space, you start integrity. When you listen only silence from your inner space, you achieved integrity. As long as you are hearing something from your inner space, it is lack of integrity. Go on listening. Even while you are sitting, driving, talking, walking. Listen to you also when you are talking. It is listening to you, going to bring integrity to you. Listening to you, going to bring integrity to you. Listening. 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 Untiringly listening. Intensely bringing integrity to your life. As I said, How much ever you try to practice, only if you listen, you will achieve it. I am changing the statement. You listen from many people. How much ever you listen, only if you practice, you will achieve it. But I tell you, how much ever you try to practice, only if you listen, you will achieve it. Listen. I tell you, only if you see the result of the spiritual truths in your life, you will be inspired to live them. You will be inspired to make them as satyas. All your doubts are nothing but your fight with those tattvas. So if you have the result of even one tattva, you will start living all four tattvas. You will be inspired. I tell you, terribly inspired. You don't know how terribly I am inspired. And I am going crazy with these four tattvas. 24 hours I am looking into myself and saying, can I enrich in any other way? Can I enrich in any other way? Today I am taking up a commitment with you all guys, with Kalabhairava as witness. I am going to use the iPad given by Muktananda. He has given me an iPad where I can start penning down. I am going to pen down Akashic records directly, and it will be published in my own handwriting. See, to read Akashic records, I need this setup of video and all that. So it limits my contribution of Akashic records to the world.